You cannot have forgotten about this superstar. In a world of silver screen and Hollywood dreams, one actress shines bright: Elisabeth Shue. This name is synonymous with talent and allure. With a career spanning decades, she's captivated audiences with her sultry charm and depth. From teen star to cinematic siren, Elisabeth has brought complex characters to life with her undeniable sensuality. Join us as we dive into her most iconic roles and uncover the secrets behind her enduring on-screen magic. Get ready to be enchanted by the one and only Elisabeth Shue. Hollow Man. Welcome to a world where the boundaries of science and morality are pushed to the limit. It's a guaranteed thriller that keeps you on the edge of your seat. There's an extra reason that will keep you rooted in your seat, and that is the elegant Elisabeth Shue. Elisabeth Shue plays Dr. Linda McKay, a talented and dedicated scientist working on a top-secret project at a research facility. The doctor is part of a team led by a charismatic and brilliant Dr. Sebastian Cain, played by Kevin Bacon, who's developed a revolutionary serum to make humans invisible. As the project progresses, Linda becomes increasingly concerned about Sebastian's obsession with the serum and his willingness to disregard ethical boundaries. Despite her reservations, she's drawn to Sebastian's charm and intellect, and they begin a romantic relationship. When Sebastian tests the serum on himself and becomes invisible, Linda is initially thrilled by the breakthrough. However, she soon realizes that Sebastian's invisibility has unleashed a darker side of his personality. He becomes increasingly unstable, paranoid, and violent, using his newfound power to manipulate and terrorize those around him. With the help of her colleagues, Dr. Matt Kensington, played by Josh Brolin, and Dr. Carter Abbey, played by William Dean, she embarks on a dangerous quest to contain Sebastian's destructive power. Speaking of destructive, in another unforgettable scene in the movie, Sebastian appears in Linda's bedroom and witnesses her intimate moment with Matt Kensington. Sebastian's jealousy and possessiveness are triggered, leading him to lash out violently and destructively. Good thing he ended the way he did, but it wasn't easy. Sebastian went on a rampage. He begins to attack his colleagues one by one, and it would take the brilliance of Elisabeth Shue's character, Dr. Linda McKay, to stop him. She fires a flamethrower at him. She's a complete badass, we tell you. Would you be seeing this classic film again? Leaving Las Vegas. Leaving Las Vegas is a romantic drama based on John O'Brien's novel that explores the highs and lows of love and addiction. It follows a beautiful and charming prostitute named Sarah, played by Elisabeth Shue, in the neon-lit streets of Las Vegas. Sarah navigates the dark world of sex work with a sense of resilience and determination. Her life is a constant struggle, but she finds solace in her own self-worth and a deep desire for connection. One fateful night, Sarah meets Ben Sanderson, played by Nicolas Cage, who is a troubled and charismatic screenwriter who has lost his way in the world. Ben is a self-destructive soul, hell-bent on drinking himself to death, but Sarah sees something in him that no one else does, a glimmer of hope. As they embark on a passionate and intense affair, Sarah finds herself drawn to Ben's vulnerability and creativity. She becomes his muse, his confidant. Despite Ben's relentless alcoholism and self-destructive tendencies, Sarah stands by him, refusing to give up on their love. As the story unfolds, Sarah fights to save him from himself, even as she struggles to save herself while managing to radiate some incredible amount of sexual appeal. Shue shows everyone how dangerously sensual she can be in the scene with Ben. They both enter the apartment surrounded by a ridiculous display of Ben's self-destructive habits, with the apartment filled with lots of alcoholic drinks. As Sarah makes her way to the bathroom and out, she transforms. She emerges from the bathroom radiant in a sleek black skirt that accentuates her curves and showcases her sensational body. How could anyone forget that? Not Ben. He's been hooked since the first time he met her. Well, not that he met her, he almost killed her. Ben was drinking and driving, so he wasn't paying attention to Sarah, who was crossing the road. He almost hit her, but quickly slams on the brakes. Confidently, sexy Shue approaches the car, her long legs in a black miniskirt in all its glory. She goes over to his side, bends down to talk to him through the car window, and whew, her intensity could be felt on Mars, we tell you, as she leans in. Ben was hooked. In her, he found his new addiction. Despite her background, which makes people see her as an object, Shue finds comfort in Ben, but he becomes a jerk towards her, and that became a series of suffering events for her. Unfortunately, Shue's character got a job with some college students, and that job became her doom. Do you remember what the students did to her? If you do, let us know in the comments. Piranha 3D. Piranha 3D is a remake of the 1978 film Piranha and an over-the-top horror film with plenty of fire, suspense, and humor. The plot follows the older yet amazingly sexy Elisabeth Shue playing the character of Sheriff Julie Foster. Sheriff Julie Foster is a widowed mother of two dedicated to protecting the lakeside community of Lake Victoria. Her life is turned upside down when a massive earthquake strikes, unleashing a swarm of vicious piranha into the lake. Elisabeth's character is tough and never tolerated nonsense. She is also an upright cop, and she showed this in the scene where a character destroys public property. Sheriff Julie Foster arrests the perp in the smoothest way possible. The scene was a great way to open up the film, and it remains memorable. As the piranhas begin attacking the unsuspecting beachgoers, Julie springs into action, racing against time to save her children and the town. With her sharp instincts and quick thinking, she teams up with fish and wildlife expert Matt Boyd, played by Adam Scott, to uncover the source of the deadly fish. As the body count rises, Julie's investigation leads her to a sinister plot involving a local scientist, Carl Goodman, played by Richard Dreyfuss, who has been secretly breeding the piranhas for military purposes. Julie's determination and bravery put her in the crosshairs of Goodman's henchmen, but she refuses to back down. With her children, Laura and Jake, caught in the midst of the chaos, Julie must use all her wits and resourcefulness to rescue them and stop the piranhas. In a heart-pumping climax, Julie faces off against the piranhas and the villains, fighting to save her family and the town she loves. How can anyone forget how great it looked to see Elisabeth Shue showing her skill? In a scene, Sheriff Julie Foster plunged a taser into the piranha's snapping jaws, unleashing a burst of electricity that shocked the creatures into submission. As if that wasn't dangerous enough, the sheriff jumps into the piranha-infested lake to save her son Jake from the clutches of the deadly fish. The moment is a heart-stopper, showing her bravery, quick thinking, and maternal instincts. In the final moments of the film, she emerges victorious, having successfully contained the piranha threat and saved the lake community. So, is this enough for you to re-watch the outstanding movie? You tell me. The Saint. When she starred in the action-packed thriller film The Saint, Elisabeth Shue dazzled. In the film, she plays Dr. Emma Russell, a brilliant and beautiful scientist who finds herself in a world of high-stakes thievery. Emma's story begins with her groundbreaking research on a revolutionary new energy source. Her work captures the attention of a wealthy businessman, Mazhkov, played by Ivan Tretiak, who will stop at nothing to acquire her formula. Emma becomes the target of the professional thief Simon Templar, played by Val Kilmer, and he becomes an unlikely ally. Simon, with his quick wit and cunning expertise, helps Emma navigate the treacherous world of espionage, all while pulling off daring heists and outsmarting his enemies. As they work together, Emma, who had initially fallen for Simon, falls even harder for him. She became lost in his charismatic charm and sense of adventure. Really, Emma? He's a thief, and he's bad for you. With danger lurking around every corner, can Emma trust this professional thief with her life and her secrets? Well, what do you think? In one scene, Emma kisses Simon, who emerges from the sewage while they were hiding under a car to avoid detection by one of Ivan's henchmen. Imagine having a moment of unexpected intimacy during a life-and-death moment. Well, they weren't out of the woods yet. The two of them had a couple of close calls, which brings them even closer. They get so close that by the end of the film, Simon stops being a villain in Emma's eyes, and they begin a secret relationship with each other. What about Emma's formula? What happened to it? Do you remember? Cocktail. Cocktail is a nostalgic romantic drama film that explores the highs and lows of love, ambition, and the pursuit of happiness. Jordan Mooney, played by Elisabeth Shue, was a free-spirited artist living in Jamaica, chasing her dreams and living life on her own terms. Her world was filled with vibrant colors, beautiful landscapes, and a sense of freedom. Brian, an ambitious bartender played by Tom Cruise, who left the army and wanted to become a businessman, got a job as a bartender. He learns from an older bartender named Doug, but the two had a massive fallout. Brian still retains his dream of having one of the top cocktail bars, and to achieve that, he travels to Jamaica to work as a bartender and save some money. It was in Jamaica that Jordan met Brian Flanagan, and the two had a spark for each other which blossomed into something more. The two will fall for each other and begin a passionate relationship. But like all good things, they must come to an end. Brian takes a dare from an older and more experienced bartender, Doug, played by Brian Brown, to sleep with an older, affluent woman staying at the same resort so he can get ahead. Brian's ambition got the better of him, and he went to have a fling with the woman. Jordan, the daughter of wealthy parents back in New York, leaves the resort after seeing Brian and the older woman together after closing. Oh boy, will Jordan ever forgive Brian, and will they get back together? How could Brian do that? Jordan was just so amazing. In one scene, she approaches the bar to talk to Brian. Her radiant smile and beautiful face glow with a warm, sun-kissed complexion, and her bright, sparkling eyes shine like diamonds. Of course, Brian falls for her. Who wouldn't? In another romantic scene, Jordan and Brian share a playful kiss on a Jamaican beach, surrounded by crystal-clear waters and swaying palm trees. Unfortunately, he throws all of this away because of his ambition. Brian eventually discovers the error in his ways, but things become even more complicated. Jordan doesn't want to be with him, and she's added another blow. Jordan was pregnant. What has Brian done? Should ambition be chased at all costs? Will the two of them be together in the end? Do you remember what happened in the end? You could refresh your memory by rewatching and letting us know what you think. And there you have it, folks, our top 5 picks for Elisabeth Shue's most memorable performances. From her iconic roles as Jordan Mooney in Cocktail to her heart-wrenching portrayal of Sarah in Leaving Las Vegas, she has proven to be a talented and versatile actress. Which film is your favorite, and which scene did you enjoy the most? Let us know in the comments, like this video, and subscribe to the channel for more.